Hello everyone and welcome back to Fanboy Radio. Today I'll be doing a prediction video for Attack on Titan regarding the events of what happened in chapter 125. So, spoiler alert, if you haven't read the chapter yet, go ahead and read it and then come back to this video if you want to hear this prediction. So for today I'm just going to do a short prediction, no review of the chapter. I think not too much was revealed in this chapter, so going over it point by point might not be too insightful. So this won't be necessarily a theory video either, because there isn't too much substantial evidence to back up the claim. So this is just a prediction from me, from what I felt from the chapter regarding the end of the series and what happens to Eren. So here it goes. The prediction I have is that Eren gets killed by the remaining Titan shifters at the end of this story, or further down the line. My reasons for this is that there are too many remaining characters that don't want the rumbling to happen. I'll just list them off who are still alive, who would like to see the rumbling not happen. From chapter 125, we see that Piak and Magath, they're still both alive and together. We know from last chapter that Reiner is asleep somewhere, and we know that his character arc still hasn't been resolved yet, so there's that. Annie is awake now, and she is currently in transit somewhere with Hitch. We don't know where, but she wants to get back to her father, so she doesn't want to see this rumbling happen if that means that he's going to be, obviously killed from it. Gabby definitely doesn't want to see this happen, and she's with Armin going to meet up with Falco and Connie. Falco probably doesn't want to see the rumbling happen either. Zeke, we don't know where Zeke stands currently. We don't know whether he's alive or not, but I'm pretty sure he's still alive since it's not explicitly shown if he got killed or how he got killed. But his whereabouts are unknown, but if he's still alive, he may not want this to continue to happen. So he's still kind of a piece on the board still. The volunteers from Marley, from other countries who came to Paradise Island, won't want this to happen, as Flock was saying that they had a vision for their own countries, right? And so they wouldn't want to see the rumbling destroy their country, which they came from. The Eldians on Paradise Island who oppose the Jaegerists, it's kind of hard to gauge where they stand exactly. But we know that they don't like the Jaegerists, and we know that they don't like what the Jaegerists are doing in the situation regarding how they're handling taking over the country, essentially. So, on that point, I think there are just way too many foils to Eren who are still alive, and a lot of these foils are Titan shifters, Piak, Reiner, Annie, Falco, possibly Zeke, and then we also have Armin on that point too. We know that he doesn't directly oppose Eren exactly, but Armin, being the kind soul that he is, definitely probably doesn't want to see, millions of people get killed by the rumbling. So he might, pretty sure if he could stop Eren from doing this, he might make an effort to do so. Another point that I think kind of helps this prediction is that the way Isayama kind of portrays this scene after the rumbling happened on Paradise Island, he paints it as a more chaotic scene rather than a liberating one. And like Flock said, what's happened because of the rumbling is that all of them are essentially free, right? All of the Eldians on Paradise Island, this is kind of what they've wanted from the jump. No more walls, no more Titans, and all their enemies abroad would be destroyed by the rumbling. So this scene should be kind of a liberating one. And we see the Eldians on Paradise Island at the beginning saying, oh yeah, Eren did this for us. This means the Eldian Empire is going to survive forever. But the way Isayama draws it, it seems more chaotic than it does liberating. And one point I would like to say on this is the way that he draws the volunteer from Marley who got shot in the face by Flock is pretty obscene. I mean, this is Attack on Titan, so we've seen people get eaten by Titans, and people's faces get shot off or whatever. There's been a lot of kind of grotesque stuff, kind of really graphic deaths in this manga. But the way he draws this one specifically, where Falco is kind of emotionless while he kills this guy point blank, and the way he draws the dead body of this guy on the floor where his jaw is dislocated and his eyes are rolled back, it's very disturbing. It doesn't seem like a good thing no matter what your perspective is on this, and definitely from our main character's point of view, in this situation specifically, it's John reacting to this, that we know from his reaction that this is straight up not a good thing. This is not what they wanted, to see people mercilessly killed by the Jaegerists after the rumbling happened. So to me, that's another point that what's happening so far is something that our main characters also do not want to see happen. So if they can stop it, that they most likely will. Now, my first impressions of this chapter were that the way the story would end would be more bittersweet, where the rumbling would continue, the rest of the world would get trampled. Some of the Eldians in Marley and in other countries would revolt, maybe because they know that the rumbling is happening because of their vision. So they would revolt, try to escape, possibly get free. And I don't think that would be too hard, because it's kind of unclear for the rumbling. Do we know that the Wall Titans will go out of their way to eat people while they destroy the world, or is it just them, trampling over people with their giant feet and destroying everything? But would they still eat people? Because if they don't, wouldn't it be really easy just to take possibly a boat out to sea while the Wall Titans are in transit, and you could just float by them if they're not trying to eat you, right? And stay alive pretty safely. But that's kind of unclear. But I thought that a great way to end the series is to have the rumbling happen and have some of the Eldians from Marley revolt and survive the rumbling and make their way to Paradise Island, and that our main characters on Paradise Island would have to deal with the consequences of the rumbling, and how they would integrate the Titan shifters from Marley into society, or whether they would punish them, or how that would happen. I thought that would be a very good ending to the story. But the way it seems to me, now after I think about it, and after one essential point, is that the Titan shifters will work together to kill Eren. And the last essential point to this is that Armin still hasn't had his moment yet. Ever since he was saved instead of Erwin, we've kind of expected, Armin will kind of rise to the occasion, use his intelligence for the sake of the people of Eldia, to do some kind of crazy, 300 IQ plan to make sure that they're free and they're safe and all right. But we still haven't seen that moment from Armin yet. When they go to invade Marley, we kind of see his intelligence come into play when he helps devise the escape plan using the lights, right? And for them to get back to the blimp and to escape. But it was more of a kind of quickly made plan, because in response to Eren going off by himself, it didn't seem like a well thought out plan for Armin. And at the end of the day, it was victorious, but it wasn't necessarily like a really big clutch moment that we would expect from Armin. And then this chapter goes out of its way, chapter 125, goes out of its way to point back to Armin saying, yeah, maybe he shouldn't have been the one saved and it should have been Erwin instead because he has no idea what to do in this chaotic situation. But the thing is, because they pointed that out, that it makes me think that there's still time for Armin to have that 300 IQ moment. And because he doesn't want to see genocide of the rest of the world, he might use that 300 IQ moment to stop Eren in some way. And this chapter does the thing where we don't know necessarily know the locations of all the remaining characters, Piak McGath, Reiner, Annie, Connie and Falco. We don't know how close they are to each other. So there's a chance that they could possibly meet up. And if they do, they could devise a plan to stop Eren and possibly kill him. And I think that's the way that the story is going so far. But yeah, that's my prediction. I think Eren most likely will die at the end of this story at the hands of both his friends and the rest of the Titan shifters from Marley. And that, maybe they might use what they did to help save the world as a kind of bargaining chip to help secure the safety of Paradise Island. I'm not entirely sure. But my prediction is that Eren will die at the hand of the Titan shifters. It just seems like Isayama is painting this kind of chaotic scenario where no one is happy, but there's still a lot of players on the board who can still do something, and they're all in motion. So it seems to me like it points to them going to devise a plan to take down Eren and stopping the rumbling. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. Thank you for listening. If you've listened this far, if you like the video, please leave a like. If you like this type of content, please subscribe. If you have anything to say about this topic, and if you've read chapter 125, of course, leave a comment in the comment section, and I'll be sure to reply if you want to have that type of discussion. But yeah, that's it for me. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.